How's it going, guys? It's Eclipse here, and today's video we are checking out the Object 277 in a game that genuinely surprised me. Now, everything that could possibly go wrong in World of Tanks pretty much did in this game, and we still managed to come out on top. Well, kind of anyway. So yeah, you'll see what this game has to offer. We will skip through some of the bits that are a little bit less entertaining, shall we say. There was some kind of areas of the gameplay when I was getting screwed over basically by some lag and some various other different things. So we'll just skip past those bits. We won't go. We'll just speed it up so that you don't have to watch me being a potato. So yeah. Really good game overall. Was it the game that I really wanted in the end of it? No, but definitely one that surprised me a lot, and it definitely had the fun factor, and hence why we're doing a video on YouTube for it. Now, first things first, what is the 277? Well, of course it is the tier 10 Russian heavy tank with this 490 alpha damage gun that pretty much hits on the move every single time that you try it. Yeah, especially with the update 6.0, which basically gave you just accuracy beyond belief compared to that of PC and the various different World of Tanks versions, whereby now you can just basically auto-aim people halfway across the map and still hit them every single time, as you'll see me doing in quite a few shots that we're going to be taking. Now, unfortunately, I can't do this live, or at least with gameplay that I wasn't recording at the time, because I was just having an odd game on for one game, and it happened to be this kind of game, and I definitely think it's still worth me actually showcasing it here on the channel. So that's why you're seeing it. Unfortunately it is the replay, so I guess you could always go and have a look at another video on my channel if you want to watch some gameplay, and if you don't like the look of the replay system. But yeah, this game is more about what sort of situational stuff you need to do and how you can actually improve a lot more within the game. Now, of course, I made some mistakes in this game, and I certainly will admit that, or be the first to admit that. But there are certainly some good moments where I definitely did the right thing and we came out on top. So, of course, within this game, what are we doing now? Well, I'm pushing up because I want to get some spotting damage and I want to get some actual damage. As you see, we hit the Canonian Jagdpanther, 105 on the move. Yeah, really ridiculous shot, that one. And of course, we're going to shut him down now with the final shot. So we took him out from full health, which is a really nice bonus for spotting him, and we didn't take a single shot of damage, which was really nice as well. So of course, that's the sort of things you want to be doing in World of Tanks, taking no damage and dealing a full hit points worth of a vehicle in damage. So yeah, really good way to go about your games. Now, as far as this game, what am I going to do now? Well, I've seen that the machine is being a bit of a pest to our 268 version 5 and our Super Conqueror up there. So what I am going to do now is put some pressure on the backside of the machine, and we're going to hopefully take him out of the game, and then we can move on ourselves to try and win the game overall. Now, what you'll notice within this gameplay, unfortunately, is that artillery on the enemy team, the Batchat 155 and the M53 55, had they didn't want anyone else basically, and you'll soon find that out. Now, what are we doing now? Obviously, machine has taken out 2 of our tanks, or at least spotted 2 of our tanks, and they've been taken out from the game on top of this hill. And the central area in this map is kind of an area that you want to definitely take control of, because if you don't, it becomes a place where the enemy team can basically win from the game from, at least for the most part. Now, it's 7 versus 9. That gets a lot worse, and I mean a lot worse come the end of the game, which is not very fun. Not very fun for us, at least, as we shut down the machine there, taking him out from a little bit of hit points. And what you see here is I do get, unfortunately, hit from the right hand side, probably by a TD, probably the Ferdinand on the enemy team, which is really unfortunate. Took a nice 500 damage hit there, where he must have actually high rolled, and that doesn't happen very much on console, at least, as we put one shot into the M48 A2 120mm. And here we go. we're getting hit from multiple different directions. We're also getting attacked, and I mean attacked by artillery in just a second right here. Basically just getting splashed for 30 damage each time, which is, yes, it doesn't take a lot of damage, but it's so annoying, it's so pesky. And I'm sure that if you are a PC player, you know exactly what I mean, because the majority of artillery on that game have this lower alpha damage, but they can reload super fast and they genuinely have such better accuracy. Now, what I was talking about with regards to this being an awful game, well, yes, now it's 2 versus 8, and it couldn't have got much worse. Not only do we have artillery trying to ruin our game, we've got 2 versus 8, so I'll have to either take out 8 tanks, or if we share it between ourselves, we'll have to take out 4 tanks each. Now, is that going to likely happen? Probably not. But you'll get to see that in a second. But what we have now is the T100 LT, who thinks he's somewhat of a badass as he comes strolling in to try and out-traverse us, but absolutely not do we think that any light tank is going to be out-traversing us, and we managed to shut him down for the 50 hit points or whatever it was that he had. Now we do get hit there again by artillery, 200 damage taken again. Really, really annoying, and we're about to get into a whole world of pain here as the Object 268 version 5 gets spotted, and also the M48A2 120mm. As we put one shot into the 120mm, we've now got the 277 in front of us, the opposite number of our tank, I should say. And what we're going to do now is put one round into him, and then we're going to take one in return, which is actually really annoying. I didn't want to take that hit because it means we now only have 490 hit points as we shut them down for the rest of their health. Draugen is down there, and the Jaeger's deciding that he's going to take him on. Whether or not that actually goes successful, you'll find out in just a second. The Jaeger was on 698 hit points, the Draugen being on 400, so definitely a one-shot for the Jaeger. But the pesky artillery manages to hit the Jaeger there and saves the Draugen on the enemy team. But not for long, as we shut him down as well. And we're on 5 kills, so it's an absolute amazing round, I guess, of World of Tanks. And I'm thinking, oh, there's going to be someone behind me. Oh, and there was. Yeah, basically getting farmed by all of the tanks. They're all coming in, trying to take us out. And the M48 actually manages to get a hit on us there, which is annoying. I did try and swap the kind of side of my cheek, I guess, to avoid the damage, but unfortunately that didn't happen, and so we're kind of left in this situation now where we're on 120 hit points versus 4 enemy tanks, which not looking so good for Titan Eclipse. Of course, we have 2 artillery on the enemy team, which means they can splash me and still take me out of the game. We've got 2 tank destroyers, being a Ferdinand that we haven't seen all game, and also the 268 version 5, which we also haven't seen except from that moment when he was up in the middle, and I think he was on something like 1200 hit points at that point, so it's not looking good in terms of the hit points of this game. And so what we're going to do now is just try and get away. So we are going to speed it up at this point because not a lot happens within the next couple of or the next minute or so within the gameplay, so we're just going to basically skip forward to this bit. Obviously, I'm trying to make sure that I'm kind of artillery safe, or at least to some degree, so we're moving around and making sure that we're not putting ourselves in too much danger. Although, you know, with artillery around, that could basically be anywhere on the map, especially these new maps that we get. So, what am I going to do? Well, basically I want to try and find a hold down position, and of course in our cap circle to defend it should anyone decide that they are going to come from the cap circle. Now, as I make my way to this rock, which you can get hold down behind, the enemy artillery is about to say hello as we decide to actually put one shell into him. Really, really lucky shot, that one actually. We only saw the very top left-hand part of his tank, so really, really happy that I managed to take out the M53-55 there. And yeah, trying to stay artillery safe, at least from the Batchat 155-55. Now it becomes very apparent to me in just a second that lag is now trying to stop us from winning this game. So not only have we got 8 versus 2 situation earlier that we were having to pull back from 8 versus 2 to 3 versus 1, we've now got lag, as you can see. We're just turning around in circles, having an absolute nightmare. And this continues for a solid amount of time, at least a minute within the game. So it kind of wastes a whole minute of our time. And so we're kind of just waiting. I thought I'd completely lagged out of this game, which I was absolutely devastated with, because I really did want to get the best game possible for this tank, and of course YouTube itself for you guys to have a look at. Now, at this point, I was not controlling my tank. It was driving for me. That's how much this tank is such a good one. And of course, with the 490 alpha damage that this thing gets, you certainly do feel like an absolute G, I guess. And we can actually move up and move around. We've got armor, we've also got this gun, we've got turret armor, we've basically got the speed as well, so you can go like 35 kilometers an hour on pretty hard terrain, and of course you can go up faster than that if you put in some equipment that we haven't actually got into, but we will go over the equipment setup for the 277 should you wish to actually play it on World of Tanks console. Now, at this point, what am I trying to do? Basically just try and spot the opponents from whichever direction they're coming from. I just want to find out where they are. We don't know where any of them are at this current moment in time, and they could come from any direction. So just positioning ourselves in a nice position will really help with that. And so now, trying to get artillery safe, of course, pulling back behind this rock to try and avoid an artillery shell as the Ferdinand comes out of nowhere. Full health Ferdinand, 1500 hit points. What's he doing? Well, we try and shoot on the move because we need to get in as many shots as possible. He's just fired by the looks of it and derped it into the ground. We put one into him. What we do now is we do make a slight change because I think he must have been aiming at the right hand side that was unangled. We get round behind him, and this is perfect position that you want to be in when you out-traverse those slow ogre tank destroyers like the Ferdinand, which is pretty terrible in every single sense of the word. This guy's got 1 mark, so he's not a complete fool, but we have just basically outplayed him right there. He should have waited, he should have just basically aimed his shot at me earlier, and he would have basically won the game. Artillery again just widely misses us there. And now we are in a position 1 versus 2 at the end of the game, and unfortunately the Object 268 version 5 is playing so passively and so non-aggressive that we are just never going to be able to outspot him. And so what I am going to try now is just to be aggressive, find him, because if I can manage to take him out, we may win the game still, which would mean the Kolobanov's medal would be mine, along with a Paul's medal if we manage to take out both of them, but it is unlikely given that we've got 30 seconds of the game remaining and we cannot find the Object 268 version 5 for the life of me. And so that ends our game. No matter what happened this game, the one thing that did really end up with me getting the game ruined was, of course, the matchmaker and, of course, the game time, because there's no way that I can outplay the game time and the match time. So, unfortunately, we did lose that game, but it was such a minor loss, and in my opinion, I kind of still won that game because they was 1 versus 2, or at least we had like a 1 versus 6 at one point, which was just ridiculous. We brought it down to a 1 versus 2, and we lost to some people that just played it very passively at the end of the game. So, you might be wondering how much damage we managed to pick up within this game, and of course I am about to show you. We picked up a nice chunk of alpha damage, or at least damage within this game. We didn't come in the top 3, which was unfortunate considering we did perform so well considering the matchup and stuff like that. We managed to actually pick up 6,000 damage in total, or 6,600 if we want to be precise, which we can have a look at in just a second on the log. We managed to pick up a lot of silver as well, 186,000 silver without an operation, which is ridiculous. We managed to get 8 destroyed in that game, 6,655 damage and 2,060 blocked. Didn't get any assistance damage, which is a little upsetting because that would have made the game so much better. and we managed to get a Mastery Badge, Radley Walters Medal for taking out 8 enemy tanks, a Devastator for 7 enemy tanks destroyed, a Spartan, a Top Gun, a Duelist, a High Caliber, a Fire for Effect, a Sniper, a Bruiser and a Master Gunner. So we managed to pick up a ridiculous amount of medals in that game, and we managed to have some fantastic games overall. We did get quite a lot of XP and silver, of course, and we did almost come in the top 3, I guess. But yeah, unfortunately, we did lose the game, but for my eyes, it wasn't a loss, and we will get into the equipment setup of the 277, so you can try and have some games like this should you be able to pick it up. Now, in terms of what you want the gun stabilizer for the accuracy on the moves that you just saw me basically hit on the move all of the time. And then you want the advanced loader and improved ventilation. You could always swap out improved ventilation for some more view range, or you could go with a camo net, but for me, obviously if you could get the view range it would be better, and then you could make a choice for getting a traction system, but it is at the end of the day up to you, so make the decision yourself, but those are kind of the optimal setup for the tank. And of course, with regards to the perk setup, we've got Quick Learner, we've got Born Leader even, which is like Brothers in Arms. We've got Rapid Loading, Steady Aim, Run and Gun, Snapshot, basically all of the accuracy perks to try and get that boosted up. Sixth Sense, of course, which is crucial in whatever tank you play, in my opinion anyway. Camo Expertise and Muffled Shot. And then, of course, in your heavy tanks, you want repairs to improve the repair time of your track should you get tracked out in the open. Now, hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, remember to hit that like button and also subscribe if you're not already. And I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.